So the next question we want to consider is, what is a coach? What do we mean by the word coach? Well, in our language, in English, it's, refers to often a lot of things, like, a coach that the Queen drives in. Mainly it's around sports and those kinds of things, football coaches, and typically refers to often a lot of things, like, a coach that the Queen drives in. Mainly it's around sports and those kinds of things, football coaches, and typically we associate them with other kinds of activity. But in terms of our recovery coaching training course, we mean the following. Coach is a person who uses coaching skills in service of the agenda of the person they are coaching. So that's a definition, if you like, of what a coach is. So now we're going to ask, well, what is coaching exactly? And to start answering that question, we're going to refer to the International Coaching Federation's definition of coaching. The ICF, as it's known, is the largest official body of coaches in the world, and it covers pretty much every kind of different coaching discipline there is. Possibly in the future it's going to include recovery coaching, but the ICF covers executive coaches, business coaches, all kinds of life coaches, and so on. Now, the ICF definition of coaching is as follows. The ICF defines coaching as partnering with clients in a thought-provoking and creative process that inspires them to maximize their personal and professional potential. Coaching honors the in his or her life and work and believes that every client is creative, resourceful, and whole. Now, there's another definition here which I just want to share with you, which is from the European Mentoring and Coaching Council, another international organisation, mostly based in Europe, which has many coaches as members. Their definition is as follows. Coaching is facilitating the client's learning process by using professional methods and techniques to help the client to improve what is obstructive and nurture what is effective goals. Some more definitions now. This is from the NASA Goddard program, and yes, that's NASA as in Apollo rockets to the moon. They use coaching to manage some of their professionals and some of the people who work inside their organization. They define it as follows: a developmental strategy that enables people to meet their goals for improved performance, personal growth, or career enhancement. Life coach Michael Duffy, this is a definition which I like. Life coaching encourages the deletion of want to be and helps you replace it with I am. Miles Downey also said, coaching is the art of facilitating the performance, learning, and development of another. Now, there are many models and common principles, if you like, of coaching. There's lots of different coach training schools out there, and they have their own programs and they have their own approaches. However, all of them share some common principles, i.e. all of them, regardless of which one you were to go and train with, and that would include the Foundation for Recovery Coaching's training programs as well, all have inside them common principles, and we're going to just go through those common principles now. So first, of course, and very importantly, coaching is based on what we call a wellness model and not an illness model. So when we go to work with our clients, we are saying, as soon as we step into a meeting or a session with them, that these people are well and that they're trying to make sense of their worlds. The wellness model says that we do not immediately start to look for where people are sick and ill. We actually are more interested and focused on looking on the parts of them that are working and are well. Now, this can sometimes be misinterpreted to mean that we sort of, if you like, are blind to the fact that some people actually do have illnesses that they need to get some help with. And that is very, very true. However, it's not the place we start. We start with this idea of the wellness model, the idea that people have pretty much all the resources they need within them to make their lives whatever they want to make their lives to be, and that they don't need fixing by us, and certainly don't need treating. So a wellness model, not an illness model. Secondly, coaching is always solutions focused. So we're always more interested in looking about what can happen next, what can be brought into a situation to make it better, rather than constantly concentrating on the problem. So we're not really looking for problems, we're looking for how people can engage to find themselves new pathways out of. So it's solution focused. Client driven. The client sets the agenda and the design of the support they want and they need from the coach. It's all about the client. It's not about the system. It's not about the tools you want to use as a coach. It's about what the client actually wants to have happen. Not a treatment, not a therapy. This links back to the wellness versus illness model that we talked about just now. We are not treating people and we are not therapizing them. Okay, when we enter into a coaching relationship, we're saying that you don't need treatment and you don't need therapy from us. You may find a client who does actually need some treatment and therapy, and again, we would be coaching them to find that treatment or therapy, not supplying it. All coaching models are concerned with the creation of the future from the present moment. Primarily, we're looking to say what's going on now and what is going to happen in the future. What do you want to create? What do you want to have happen? What do you want to experience? So we're concerned primarily with the here and now. This is not to say that coaching models don't look back reflectively into the past. Yes, they do, and absolutely it would be crazy to think that that's not possible. The idea here really is that our focus of attention is now going forward, not about the past. All coaching includes the design of specific actions and accountability. This says SMART action. SMART refers to specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and time-bound. Some of you may have heard of SMART goals. Coaching always includes an action piece, a grounding of a coaching take. What are you going to commit to? And the coaches hold them accountable. If we don't have action and accountability inside a coaching relationship, it is not coaching. So what are the objectives of coaching? Let's go through that now. First objective, build resources, internal and external. So internal refers to the internal capacity and resources that an individual has inside them. Their characteristics, if you like, for their personality, perhaps how they think, how resourceful they are in their thinking, how courageous they might be with themselves. Internal resources, really, what have they got available to themselves? External resources, what's around them in the outside environment that they need to access in order to pursue whatever it is they're trying to pursue in their lives, to build their future or to change their pathway. What resources do they need and how do they access them? One of the objectives of coaching will be to help our clients build these internal and external resources. Develop and expand learning, really important part of the coaching relationship. If our clients aren't learning anything about themselves, aren't expanding, if you like, the body of knowledge that they have about themselves, about how do I work, why do I do the things I do, why does this happen when I do this, and why does that happen when I do that, this client is never going to actually be able to sort of expand their own horizons and grow. So one of the objectives, if you like, is to support their own development and expand their learning. The next objective of increase people's self-determination, independence of thought, and understanding of their actions. So increase their self-determination means, in a sense, empowering people to be more capable and able to make conscious decisions that will redirect or further direct their visions, that will redirect or further direct their lives in a way that they choose and in a way that is positive for them. So we want, if you like, that self-determination to expand and grow. Independence of thought, individuals being able to challenge their own thinking, be able to say that the things that they think are the things that they genuinely think because they've examined their own thought processes, they've examined their beliefs, and they've decided that they're happy and comfortable with them. So, and that they don't slavishly follow other people's ideas about things without questioning with them, without examining them. So, an objective of coaching would to be increase that independence of thought. And linking back to one of the previous objectives, understanding of their actions. Again, why do I do the things that I do? Why do I make the choices I make in relation to the things I do? And understanding how they would want to be increasing that too. Next objective, develop and support people's awareness of how they make choice. How are they actually coming to a choice? How does anyone make a choice about everything? Well, I guess that's a mixture of evaluation and reflection and consideration. But it's very useful for people to start to understand and feel that they have more knowledge about how they actually come to their choices. And so we also want to bring awareness to their choices and the decisions that are being made in their lives. We want to see, I'm making this choice and this is what may happen, and this is how I arrived at making that choice. Next, we want to say that coaching enables people's understanding of their personal fulfillment of their lives. Now, this is a very, very important point for people, and particularly in the context of recovery coaching. We know that for people is to live lives that they feel are really worthwhile, live lives that not are just about having escaped a bad end, perhaps, or a difficult set of circumstances, but actually are lives that they feel are really compelling, exciting, that they want to contribute to, that they want to drive forward, something that feels fulfilling for them, something that feels fulfilling for them, that fills them up with the feeling of being alive. So one of the objectives of coaching is to, if you like, support our clients to become really aware of what it is that fulfills them in their lives, what may fulfill them in the future, what fulfills them, and how they can actually build on that. And going along with that, of course, one of the objectives of coaching would be to develop and manage and reach goals that make the experience of that fulfillment more likely. So having identified, if you like, this is what will fulfill me and this is where I want to go, and this is what I want to do, or this is how I want to be, how are we going to get there? Well, we get there in small steps, and those steps are called goals, and those goals are something that we design and create with our clients for them to reach. And as they take these goals or these steps, and of course they change all the time, this will be moving them more towards what fulfills them. Another objective of the coaching relationship is to fulfill the potential of the person. So this is all about who can they become, and it builds very much on the previous objective of fulfillment. It's about what is their potential. You know, a lot of people hold themselves as quite small. They don't feel personally empowered, and coaching really speaks to this idea that people can fulfill their potential, which in most people that I've ever met, in fact if not all people, is usually very high. And along with that, we're looking to say, how do we help our clients develop excellence and mastery? Excellence and mastery. How do they become really excellent at what they want to do, really excellent with their lives? And how do they build themselves up this idea of mastery? Mastery links to a lot of things, and it's a word which a lot of people perhaps have, some problems with, if you like, because they're not sure that they can get there. Well, this is a very, very compelling objective of the coaching relationship. So, next question we're going to ask ourselves is, does coaching work? Well, there's lots of ways that we can look at this, but let's keep it simple. Organizations say so. Coaching has been adopted most widely as an approach to working with people and supporting and assisting people in business. Most medium to large businesses use business or executive coaching as a tool to improve the lives of their employees. Most fortunately, managers and executives and tends to be people more sort of up the kind of hierarchy of the organization. But what we know is that a large amount of money is being spent on hiring coaches to help people in organizations. They are helping them to become better at what they do. They're helping them to become more effective. And why would they be doing that? Why would businesses be doing that? Well, more money spent on coaching equals better performing, happier employees. And happier employees